conservatively conservative or conservatively liberal?
This isn't you.
Probably depends on how much Nicoretti's chewed.
Yeah, I know.
From Fox News, the immensely entertaining Tucker Carlsson is on the line.
What's up, Tuck? How are you, my friend?
Bubba! Good morning, man.
Good morning. I got a ton of good response and emails from people that watched your thing on Friday. They loved it.
Well, thank you.
The only thing is they said that you needed to slow down a little bit. You were talking a little too fast, but that's from some of the southern cities that quite aren't the quickest of learners now.
You know, it's funny. I know that I talk way too fast, probably twice as fast as I should, and I tried to slow it way down just because you should.
Oh man! By the way, Contessa,
so that was as slow as I can talk.
Contessa's got like a lime green, like a Irish kind of green on today. Have you seen her? Have you seen? Do you turn on MSNBC, your former channel, just to see my baby girl at 9 o'clock?
I do not. I got to be honest with you. I watch Willie Geist's show early and way too early at 5:30 when I'm up because I'm a big Willie Geist fan. I was up this morning at 5:30 and saw him. And then I watch Morning Joe sometimes because I like those guys.
Because Joe Scarborough is the man. Willie Geist and Joe Scarborough and Contessa Brewer are the only three that I care for over there, to be honest with you.
But Contessa's not... She's not on Morning Joe that often, is she?
No, she comes on right after.
She comes on at 9. Numbnuts, you should know that.
Yeah, but see, I don't, once 9 o'clock rolls around, I can't handle that level of propaganda.
Well, hold on. Once 9 o'clock rolls around, then my girl's on there. I'm not trying to buy the propaganda they're spieling. I'm trying to get, aroused.
Do you even hear it? Do you even listen to it?
No,
or do you watch?
I had the volume turned down a little heavy. Either she got some decent sun over the weekend, or she's a little heavy on the brown foundation in the end. So I don't know, but she looks a little darker than normal today.
Well, I think you're aware of this phenomenon already, but a lot of, and I don't mean to wreck your day or anything, but a lot of women on TV don't actually look that way in person.
All right, so you have spent a ton of you spent a lot of off TV time with Contessa, yes or no?
Yes, I have, a lot. Right.
Brett, this guy kind of looks like a fat version of Tucker right here. Who's this?
John Feary.
John Feary, and Republican strategy. You know John Feary?
No, it sounds familiar.
Yeah, he looks like almost a pudgy water retention version of you, almost.
Water retention version.
No, so are you saying that Contessa may not be that sexy in real life?
Oh, no, she completely is. Oh, no, I'm just saying that in general, a lot of women on TV don't.
Porn
really
stars are the same way. We have a lot of. See, you are good. You are an expert at women on TV. We're an expert at porn stars, and porn stars are the same, man. They don't look like anything they do on. Like you see them on the movies, and like, whoa, that bitch is hot. And then you see her come into your studio, and she didn't have the 7.5 pounds of foundation on, and she looks quite hideous, to be honest with you.
Oh, they wear a lot of makeup in those things?
Oh, please. Absolutely. So if Contessa would be, a woman that I would happen to hook up with, would I have to chew my arm off in the morning because the makeup's wear off, or is she's beautiful naturally?
Oh, no. She's a basically pretty woman, I think, and a really nice person. Definitely a strong personality. I would say that.
That's what
Probably
you say
pretty
about.
hard to push around.
Hold on, that's what you say about ugly fat people. They're very nice and they have a strong personality. That's been people that have used. That's the adjectives that they've used with me for years when describing me.
You're a good cook. You got a lot of extracurriculars.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. He's got nice teeth and he's got a very nice personality. That means that not so much. You're not saying that. You're not saying that about my little pumpkin Contessa now, are you? Kind of are.
Well, of course not. No. Are you kidding? I'm a big Contessa Brewer fan.
Let me ask you a question. If your wife would die in a sudden plane crash tonight, God bless her, and Contessa's husband would be on that same very plane, would you? And you have the opportunity to strike a relationship with her? Would you? Is she attractive enough to be Miss Tucker?
I think that we would gaze across at each other in our grief counseling class, and we might make a love connection.
Really?
No, it's hard to say, though. I mean, I would be so stunned and bewildered without my wife that I don't know what I would do.
Well, your kids are grown up. Let's say your youngest is now officially 18. It's maybe 10 years from now. And,
right.
The wife, very tragically, one of the Mexican gardeners, the chain comes off the chainsaw, and your wife's out there helping, and it cuts her in the jugular vein. And next thing you know, Contessa is now officially available.
And something equally tragic has befallen her husband?
Yeah, they're not going to last, please. Those two, I could care less what happens to him, but they're not going to last.
Right, just because it's just basically wrong for someone else to be sleeping with Contessa Brewer. Is that your position?
Well, my position is, she's going to be getting a little bit older, and he's, I guess, sometimes some big real estate mover and shaker. But you don't want to be with some 40-year-old girl when you're like, when you're a big-time Donald Trump kind of type, right?
Right. No, that's totally right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's completely right.
So then she needs to then fall back up on true love, which since I'm not going to be available and you're up there in that area and your wife died in a chainsaw accident from the Mexican migrant worker, I would think, is she beautiful enough to have your hand in marriage? Contessa Brewer, ladies and gentlemen.
She's certainly beautiful enough for me to cry on her shoulder. I will say that.
Right. Does she have big knockers? Do you know?
I don't know.
You're no longer bound by the same company sexual harassment rule because you no longer work for MSNBC. Thank God, you're now officially a Fox kind of guy. So you commenting on how big her knockers are is really not a big deal.
I know that this probably disqualifies me and you're on the man test, but that's not my focus.
Knocks? You're not a big knock kind of guy?
No, I mean, I'm from Southern California where probably 9 out of 10 women have enhanced breasts, so it's like it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? It's
weirdo.
Yeah, what a weirdo, man. All guys are like big knockers.
I'll tell you what, the black girl on there, Tamron Hall, she's got big knockers. She doesn't even try to K5 it at all. She
throws the knocks right out to the forefront.
She puts them right up on the desk.
She puts them on the glass.
Yeah, you're like, well,
nice.
You're like, you could care less what she's even talking about.
Well, Tucker, like, who's got the biggest knockers in TV? You know that.
I honestly don't know.
Oh.
I don't know, and I think that becomes, frankly, a kind of a hindrance as you get older, right?
No. Not really.
No?
No, because you can always put new ones in. As you can get new ones in. You can go from saline down to silicone. And then,
how long do they last, by the way?
Oh, as long as you want. 10, 12, 15 years, until you have
But you have to replace them? You can't
No, it's just based on it's based on if you have a complication. You don't have to replace your transmission at 100,000 miles, but if it blows up at 50, so be it.
But what happens when a breast implant blows up?
Well, you just go get a new one. Yep. No big deal.
But what happens in the short term? How do you know? Does it all of a sudden just
it starts
move to the middle of your chest or something?
It goes from, 675 cc's down to 325.
Deflation, really.
I've been known a low tire.
I've been known, my tonnage has been known to crush a few. Please.
Wow.
Now, Tucker,
I always kind of wondered about that.
Tucker,
they actually leak, huh?
No, they don't. Let's not talk about knockers, but let's just talk about, in your opinion, in television, who's the most stunning, beautiful woman? And let's not talk about physical attributes as far as how big their boobs are, how nice their ass is, but just over all the years that you've worked, who has been the most, breathtakingly beautiful?
Honestly, I think one of the best-looking women in TV is Martha McCallum on Fox. She's a really pretty woman.
I don't know who she is, Brent. Do you know who she is?
Let me look her up. Have you ever met Veronica Dela Cruz on CNN?
No.
Right. God, she's steamy.
Barbara Walters?
Oh.
But, Barbara Walters had a lot of boyfriends.
Yeah, we heard, including Richard Pryor.
Yeah, that's what Paul Mooney told us.
Paul Mooney.
Not really.
Paul Mooney swears.
Paul Mooney. Manson, did Paul Mooney not tell us this in that very same seat?
Oh, he said it was truth.
Yeah, Paul Mooney was Richard Pryor's writer and best friend, and he said that Barbara Walters used to go out there and get some of that. A lot.
No.
Yeah, we broke it on my show, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Has she responded?
Of course not.
No, she
lies about everything. First of all, she's a speech impediment that she can't respond to. And secondly, she lies about everything. Her whole career's been
wait a second. So here she is, pushing 80 with the speech impediment, and she's still making a great living in television. I respect that.
Yeah.
I am so mad that she even got a job in broadcasting. First of all, she's a terrible interviewer.
Well, first of all, man, it's disgusting to my industry.
It really is, and she's
somebody as talented as we. She paid more in her first quarter taxes this year than we collectively made all year. I promise you.
And she's a miserable human being. We ran into her at Howard's wedding, and she was probably the most miserable person.
I probably have to say that I hate her probably the most.
Really? What was she like at his wedding?
She was just a miserable person.
Snooty bitch. Meanwhile, Billy Joel and all the other big-time stars, they were awesome, man. You couldn't ask for nicer people. Her, not so much.
Really? That's so disappointing.
Sarah Silverman, she was awesome.
Times. She's always been nice, but I'm not kind of intimate.
Donald Trump was very nice. Donald Trump was cool. Sarah Silverman was. Jimmy Kimmel was. They're all just so nice. John Stamos, all nice. The who's who were there. And then this bitch thinks she's all that.
She was real. Her and that other the comedian woman.
Who?
The Joan Rivers. Those two were the two most miserable in the whole room.
Joan Rivers is the chick from the Dixie Chicks was the best.
Yeah, Natalie